You're a voiceover artist looking to start, build, and grow a successful voiceover career. Right now, you may be confused as how to even start, or you're just simply stuck. That ends now. Let's get you started with this podcast, Steps to Voiceover Success. What's good, everyone in voiceover land? Look, thanks for being here. We're going to be going through Audacity today. You know, should you be using Audacity as a brand new VO artist? We're going to get into some of that. I want to take your questions. I want to get kind of a little bit down and dirty, but we're going to keep it simple today. Also want to recognize and let you know we've officially began our audio podcast. You can find that in the link for this video in the description as well on my Linktree link. tr.ee/Earl Hall Studio. You can definitely go ahead and check that out for all of you folks that may want to listen or whatever. But I come to you live every Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Earl Hall Studio. And love having you guys all in here. As you're coming in to the live session today, if you're watching me live, go ahead and introduce yourself. I see we've got Tony in the house saying he's driving, but he's still listening today. Tony, be careful out there on the road. Don't be trying to look at, all the glory going on over here. Oh my goodness. All right. But seriously, folks, I really want to get into some of the things that I know that people deal with in regards to the whole voiceover industry. I was talking to a good friend of mine this morning, Cyrus Webb, and was just talking about people that are looking to get started in voiceover. There's so many different things to consider, right? There's so many different things that you're wondering about. That's why I wanted to kind of kick things off, right now with just talking about Audacity, right? And hey, what's up, Alan, over in the ATL? Glad to have you live here with me Friday morning on our live session here on the YouTube channel. Thank you for being here down in the ATL. You guys are going through voting right now, I think, too, aren't you? Oh, my gosh. I know. So there's a lot going on down there in the GA, in the ATL. What are some of the issues and concerns that people, and I talk about voiceover artists, but I'm talking now specifically to the people that have not started, right? That they've been thinking about it. They've been wondering if they should. Someone told them they had a nice voice and they thought about going into voiceover. What is the reason? And this is what I really want to know, whether you're watching live, you're watching the replay, you're listening to the podcast, or whatever it is. I really want to know and get into why it is that you even are considering doing this thing in voiceover. What's your why? It's one of the other things Cyrus and I talked about this morning was that, which I thought was a really good conversation that we had. Because one of the things brand new voiceover artists don't understand is really all of the challenges that you're going to go through, right? All of the challenges that you're going to go through. And if you pay attention to this channel at all, you can see those challenges that come up from understanding and learning about your DAW. You may not even know what a DAW is. It's a digital audio workstation, and there's a plethora of them out there. We're going to be talking about one this morning, which is Audacity. Which is a free software that you can use. So we're going to go through some of that stuff in our session today with that. Learning about, good morning, KC. Glad to have you here. Thanks for being here with us live over on YouTube this morning. Not only your DAW, but also the type of voiceover that you want to do. Oh my gosh. When you're talking about editing and processing audio, that's a whole nother thing. What's up, Kenny? Good morning to you. Thank you for joining in live on YouTube this morning. So many different nuances, but here's one of the things that I really want to say. When you've just conceived of the thought that you want to actually go into voiceover. When I was driving this morning, when I went out to get my coffee, like I do every morning, you listen to commercials, like commercials are on the radio. You're watching TV, commercials are on, even streaming services. If you're not playing to have, ad free, then you're watching and you're hearing commercials all the time, right? So we're hearing these things all the time. Start listening to what it is and how it is that these things are being performed and done. And understand this especially, most of the things that are going on that you see on TV and commercials, or that you hear, particularly on the radio, these are voice actors that are going into someone else's studio. They've been hired by an agency through an agent or something like that, and they've been called into a studio to perform. That's another level of voiceover. What I want to focus you in on, especially starting today, is the fact that you have to be able to do your own. That's the world and the economy that we live in. It's how most of us make most of the money that we make. It's not by going into other people's studios, especially right off the bat. I have gone into other people's studios to record a voiceover, but most of the voiceover that I have done has been because I just sit in my studio, I record what I need to record, and then I process that audio because I understand and know how to process audio. So there's levels to this. And the first level that most people are at is, I think I want to go into voiceover, right? How long ago, Tony, Kay, Alan, how long ago did you get started in voiceover? You guys that are here with me live on YouTube right now. But you have to wonder, you're at a position, some of you, many of you are at a position, you haven't even started yet. You haven't bought a mic. You haven't done any sort of, training if you feel like you need it. You haven't even downloaded Audacity or any other DAW, digital audio workstation, at all either. And you're in this weird place right now where you're watching YouTube videos like this one and others that are talking to you from many different levels and perspectives. Not many people talk about or talk to the person that has not started yet. I can say that. I haven't talked a lot to people that have not actually started. And I realize that that's a segment of the audience. Casey is saying, I am so new. I don't even have the stuff. Exactly. There are so many people. Casey saying she's a healthcare worker. And see, that's the other thing. A lot of people that get started in voiceover, like myself, when I first started, I had a full-time job and wanted to be a voiceover artist. And I had to figure out that, okay, there's things that I need to learn before I can get going, right? K is saying, yes, it's so much to learn. I know. And it's daunting for that person that is just looking to start. It's a daunting thing. You're watching all these YouTube videos. Kay, here live on YouTube. How many YouTube videos do you think you've watched? How many different voice actors do you think you've watched on YouTube just trying to get things started? And the starting part is always the hardest part. It is always the hardest part. And so the type of questions that, and let me give you a couple of questions that you ought to be asking. As someone that has not made the first step yet, that has not made the move to actually be in voiceover, you're just thinking about it right now. Kay is saying she has a patient at the moment. Kay, go take care of that patient. You can watch the replay or listen to the podcast, right? Don't worry about it. She says she's watched so many, but love yours. Definitely. Thank you for that. Now take care of that patient, Kay. All right. So many people are coming into the broadcast. Miss George, hey, thanks for being in here. Glad to have you in here on the live YouTube broadcast this morning. When you're in that valley of decision, the next biggest hurdle is actually like a valley. It is a crevasse between two mountains, and you're trying to jump from one mountain peak to the next mountain peak. And that peak is just to say, start. It's the hardest leap. It's the hardest jump. So let me give you some pointers. If this is something that you know you want to do, it's something that actually won't leave you alone. You go to bed thinking about it. You wake up thinking about it. You're thinking about it at work like Kay is right now, working with patients, but you wanted to tune into the live broadcast. You're thinking about it all the time. So what's the next move? I'm going to give you a couple of steps. So what's the next move that you have to make? Because you done watched all the YouTube videos. You've been watching and you pretty much don't understand what's going on. That's why the first step is the biggest step, is just to make the decision to start. So the first thing that you want to do, at a minimum is buy a microphone. And I'm not talking about spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on a microphone, because none of us did that. At least not the people I know. I'm sure there are people out there that did that, but those of you that are on right now, we've got a few folks on. If you had to guess, excuse me, sorry about that. If you have not purchased a microphone yet, I want you to put in chat right now, what do you think you can afford to spend? And it doesn't matter what the price is, because what I'm going to be doing later on is a show on microphones at certain price levels. So what is it that you think that you can afford to do? What is it that you think you can actually lay out on a microphone, right? Because it could be $30, it could be $50, but this is going to be your first step into getting into voiceover. It's going to be the very first one, because it is normally the one that people think about the most. I need to get a microphone, right? So Kenny's saying here on the live session, he started with used equipment. Nothing wrong with that. Because sometimes we get in our heads, because we're watching people on YouTube, we're seeing all these different, great studios and all this other kind of stuff. And we think that we need to spend a lot of money. One of the things that I'm actually very proud of that I did is I let you guys see my journey from the beginning. You go back and you watch watch my earliest videos on this channel. They're still there. You can see where I started. And I just let you follow me on my journey as I got, more into what it is that I was doing, purchased more and more expensive gear, but I didn't start purchasing gear until I started making money. And see, that's the thing. Your first purchase is probably going to be a microphone. Now, what's the second thing you're going to do? The second thing after you purchase a microphone, and I don't care about the price, because you can start wherever. I don't care about the price. Vanessa is saying, Earl, thanks for being a great teacher. The real deal. You are listening. Are listening in Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, thanks, Vanessa. Definitely appreciate that. The next thing that is going to enter your mind is doing a recording. That is going to be the second step. First step, you got to buy the mic. However much you want to spend, I don't care. I don't care what it is. Okay, 25, 30, I don't care. But you've got to make a start if this is actually what you want to do. The second thing you're going to want to do is obviously record your voice. And so the next logical step is, how are you going to record your voice? What is the software that you're going to use to record? The first thing that most people do is they look on their computer, whether you're using a Mac or a PC, Windows-based computer. You're looking on your computer to see what software you have that will actually record your voice. That's the thing that you're going to do. And that's where you'll start. And that's fine. The third step that you'll do is you're going to figure out, because you're going to continue to watch YouTube videos and you're going to continue to ask questions, you're going to be wondering about software to actually be able to use in order to record your voice that is at a higher level than the software potentially that is on your computer to use. Good morning, Edwin. Glad to have you in here. Earl, I made it. Woot woot. Glad to have you, Edwin. Thanks for being here, man. So now, just from the beginning of this whole thing, so many people have been saying, I want to be in voiceover, and it's taking you a long time to get started because you don't know what to do first. And can we be honest here? You're scared to make a mistake. You're scared to, well, if I buy the wrong mic, the mic you buy will not be the mic you end up with, but you have to start with something. You have to start with something. Some people, they use their smartphones. They may, use little earphones that go on there and try and record voice. That's fine if you want to practice. That's fine. Just practice. But now know that you need to up level just a little bit. Kenny is saying I use Audacity after I record on my Zoom L8 mixer recorder. Love the Zoom products. I use the Zoom 5 H5. Awesome piece of gear to use. But that's down the road. See, all you people that haven't started buying gear yet, don't listen to me and Kenny talk about Zooms and like, what are they talking about? I know you don't know. You'll get there. But I'm telling you, like, where to start right now. Okay? So spend your 30, 40, 50, whatever it is you want to spend on a USB mic. Let's just start there. Let's just start with a USB mic. Then the thing you're going to want to do, and you may want to take notes on this. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hop over to Google, right? And this is what I want you to do. After you buy your microphone, after the microphone comes in off of Amazon or wherever you get it, right? What I want you to do is come over to Google and I want you to just type in Audacity, right? That's all I want you to do. I want you to type in Audacity. This is free. It's not going to cost you a darn thing. All right. And the reason I'm showing you this is because this is a part of where people get stuck as well. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to click on this first one with Audacity, right? You got the free open source software. Now you're going to come to this page and you're going to be like, what do I do? They got the big blue button right here, right? Download Audacity. Now, when you do this, what you're going to have to realize is, okay, this first one here, all right, it's already asking me to download it because it knows what kind of computer I have. That's why I just X'd out of it. Audacity here works both on Intel and M1, M2 Macs. So this first one is for Macs, right? And then you also, well, this says works for both on Intel and M1 and M2 Macs that are here. And let me just scroll down a little bit more. Well, it may come up different for you. Okay. All right. Now, but so look over here on the right-hand side where it says download. And if you have a Windows-based computer, now you click on that, and then it's going to give you the instructions on how to download. It's trying to download it again. I know most people have Windows-based computers, so you've got to just follow the instructions that are here to download Audacity. Left click the Audacity installer link below. It's right here. So you're going to left click on that. It's going to start the process. It says, or left click, excuse me, or left click Audacity zip link below. Then launch the download exe file. This is for all of you Windows-based computers, right, folks? Right? So regardless of whether you're using a Windows or a Mac, you're going to be able to download Audacity. Now, if you've got questions around this, you can always leave me questions right on this video, about all of this kind of stuff that you might need to know. But the instructions are right here when you go and you download Audacity. Audacity is a very powerful, free, what we call open source software package, specifically geared towards audio production. This is what it's for. Okay? You're going to open up Audacity, and I'm going to show you Audacity, and this is for all of you folks that are just starting. You're going to open up Audacity, and you're going to be like, what the heck am I looking at? You will not know where to start. It will confuse you, right? It will, because look at it. If you've never seen a DAW before, when you open up your DAW, sorry about that, switching screens back there, but when you open up your DAW, this is what a DAW looks like. It's a digital audio workstation. Who's already confused? Just by what I've done by showing you Audacity, who is already confused by what it is that they're seeing? Because you've never seen this before, right? Now, this is why the order is important, because the first thing that I told you was get your mic and plug your mic in. Because if you go ahead, I know, look, some of you are not going to follow my instructions, and I understand that. I get it, but you're grown. You can do what you want. You're going to download Audacity today. You're not going to have a microphone, and then you're going to be sitting there looking at like, okay, what do I do now? Right? You're going to be sitting there looking like, what do I do now? So now the reason I said get your microphone first, plug that little bad boy in, is because we have to go through an audio setup, right? We have to go through what are our playback devices. And you'll notice if you have your microphone plugged in, that it'll show you where you can play it back. Do you want to do it through your system computer? Do you want to, what do you want to do that through? And then the recording device. It's going to show you all the recording devices that you have available. You want to select the microphone that you actually have plugged in. That's what you want to select. And then you go to recording channels, and you're going to be using a mono recording channel, which is going to be associated with one of your mics. Now you have audio settings here, excuse me, and you can go through and set that up. The host is basically your sound card. So it's going to automatically detect what that is. And then you've got the playback device and you've got the recording device. Please pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, because your devices are not going to be the same as mine. Your devices, your playback device is going to be your computer speakers. Your recording device is going to be your microphone, and you're going to select them accordingly. Okay. So then what happens is when you press record, all of a sudden you start getting wave patterns in there. You see the wave pattern that's coming up because it's recording my voice right now. You see that, right? On screen. So now you are able to record. I just showed you the basic steps to get you started once you have your microphone and once you have downloaded Audacity. This, for a beginner, are the only steps that you need to be worried about right now. We will get into in later broadcasts and later shows how to set up things, and I'm going to say some things here that you may not understand. We're going to go through some things in Audacity to show you how to adjust your equalization on your voice. Yeah, that's a big word, right? For some folks that have never used it before. We're going to show you how to take out noise. We're going to show you how to use things that are called plugins that'll do some automatic things for your voice, like take out your breaths and things like that. But I want you to take these first steps. For everyone that has not taken a step, if this is meaningful to anyone, can I get some thumbs up here in there? Let me know. Is this valuable to anyone that is watching this? Because I know several people watch this channel that they're like, okay, how do I start? And it is literally the number one question that I get. How do I get started in voiceover? That is literally the number one question that I get. And so I wanted to slow this down for some people to show you how to do this. And if you're watching the podcast, right, or if you're listening to the audio podcast right now, there's going to be a link in the description for the YouTube channel. You can, directly to this broadcast, so you can see what the people on YouTube are seeing as well, because that may be beneficial to you to see. Like when I went and showed them how to download Audacity, when I showed them how to open it up, when I showed them the different functions and features that we just went over today, those things will potentially be helpful for you as well. Edwin is saying, yes, that's me, laugh out loud, just sitting here looking at a screen with no mic. Yeah, Edwin, exactly. Miss George is saying, thanks for the encouragement. Thank you for being here. Got a thumbs up from Randy. Got a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Kenny Briggs. Got 2 thumbs up for you, from you there, Kenny. Mixing up my work. Can you believe I'm a voice actor and I get tongue tied? Now that's an interesting story. That's an interesting story. I just got tongue tied. I've done very high level voiceover work over the years. And I've told this story before, but what some people don't actually know is that I have or had or have, however you want to call it, a speech impediment. You see me on videos all the time. You see me doing these things, but I remember being in fifth, 6th grade, and I had a very deep stuttering issue. I couldn't get my words out. Sometimes it still happens, not often at all, but sometimes it does still come up. And I had to take classes to learn to get rid of the stutter, but it still comes up. But me having that stutter at such a young age and working with a counselor that showed me how to go beyond that, because it was just a thing with me, my brain was moving way faster than my mouth could move. And what she showed me how to do was to read ahead to settle myself. And most people do read ahead. Like even when you're reading a sentence, you see the other words coming. And so she showed me how to process those words by having me starting to read a sentence. Like, this is my book, Steps to Voiceover Success. I suggest everyone get this, by the way, especially if you're just starting out. So she would have me starting off reading a sentence. Like, and I'll just read one. As you begin to get bigger and better jobs and more serious about your recording space, you will want to invest in, and she would cover up the remaining part of the sentence to show me that I could see what was coming. And the rest of the sentence is, you will want to invest in higher end gear. And she worked with me for a couple of weeks on that. And I credit that to one of the things that I'm able to do in voiceover, and why I've been able to do what I've been able to do in voiceover, because most people have a problem in voiceover with sounding like they're reading. It's one of the issues. You sound like you're reading. And when you see words coming, you can adjust your inflection. You can adjust the tone or the seriousness or the brevity or the, if it's funny or something like that, but you see it coming. And you can adjust what it is and how it is that you're saying what you're saying. And I credit that to even having that disorder or whatever it is you want to call it with me stuttering. My father has it. I have it. My youngest daughter has it. Right. And so it's one of those things, and I have 4 kids and only one of them got the stutter thing. But it happens when we get like more and more excited about things and we really want to get a point across. That's when the stutter comes out. So no matter where you are, no matter what issues you've had in life, and people will ask, like, do I have a voice for voiceover, right? Do I have the right type of voice? Well, yes, you do. I don't care about your accent. I don't care about where you come from. Don't care about your race, your religion, any of that. You have a high-pitched voice as a man. You have a low-pitched voice as a woman. Doesn't matter. There's a type of voice for what people want, and your voice will work. But it is going to take more work than the first steps that we've gotten to, which is buy your mic and download Audacity. It's going to go farther than that, right? But we want to get you started. Who's going to get started here? Those of you that have not started, what's your drop dead date? When are you going to get your mic? When are you going to order your mic? And if you want to ask me questions, or you want to send me a question about a microphone, hey, Earl, what do you think about this mic? Should I get it? Go ahead and drop me the note in the comments of this video or the audio podcast. Just send me the question. Send me a link to something you're looking at on Amazon or something like that. You can check out even in my own Amazon profile. Link is in the description. I have a bunch of different suggested gear. Just look on my link tree. Just look for that, my link tree. And it'll show you all these different types of things and stuff that I've suggested over the years. But it's okay. If you don't see something that maybe fits your budget, shoot me a link. Ask me the question. I'll answer you. Most everybody here knows if you send me a comment, I'm going to comment back. I'm going to answer your question, because I think that's what it's all about, right? It is definitely what it's all about. Look, I definitely appreciate you guys being here with me today. I hope this has made sense for everyone that is here, right? I hope it's made sense for everyone that is here, especially those of you folks that are just starting out and you're looking to get started within the next 30, 60, 90 days, whatever, and you just needed some first steps. I hope these first steps impacted you to at least get you motivated to go. And thank everybody for being here with me live. Thank you to the podcast audience that will listen to this on your favorite podcast platform as well. We're all over the place. We're on iTunes, Apple Podcast. We're on Amazon even. We're on Amazon Podcast. Who knew Amazon had podcasts? We're on Spotify. Check us out. Subscribe to the audio podcast as well. And I'll see you guys on the next show. Thanks for being here with me, guys. I appreciate you. Hey, you are so valued here, and I want to thank you for just listening, commenting, and sharing. You can tune in live every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel, and you can also subscribe to the Steps to Voiceover Success podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
Links are below. I'll see you on the next episode. Go record some amazing voiceover.